I'm back, y'all, and I am coming with my very late to the party review of Top Gun Maverick. I was never a gigantic fan of the original Top Gun film, but of course I have strong memories of it. I have strong memories of the planes, and of course Tom Cruise smiling with the sunglasses and riding that motorcycle across the sunset with the fist pump. Those are my memories. Seeing the film years later, the film is fine. It's 80s fun. I love the way it looks with Tony Scott's cinematography, the sunset, and again the motorcycle and the fist pump and the cheesy 80s musical montages, namely the volleyball scene. This film is utterly fantastic. I was actually extremely shocked at how good Top Gun Maverick is. They perfectly craft in the old with the new. So when the film starts, it's literally an exact replica of Tony Scott's film from 1986. They bring you in with the Jerry Bruckheimer logo, the Harold Faltermeyer score. I said his name wrong. Sorry, y'all. It's got the soft score. The text is the same. They bring it in with the planes on the ship. It is utterly fantastic. And then you see Mr. Cruise himself pop on that jacket and pop out that old ninja motorcycle, and he's just cruising across the landscape. It nicely brings in the nostalgia, and then it slowly shifts you into where Maverick is at his point in life in 2022. The film overall does have an 80s feel to it, namely the way it was shot, the way it was paced, the way it kind of has the archetype characters of 1980s films. And then it kind of transitions to this scene where Maverick is test piloting this, I don't know what the plane is called, but it's some sort of new plane. So you take this character from the 1980s and bam, you pop him into the present world, new technology. And actually, if people look at the movie, they might think the scene is pointless, but no, I think that scene simply is placed there to take this character who we remember from the 80s and place him in the present day. I think that is the extreme purpose of that film, of that scene. And also, you want to see that he's the same old Maverick that we know from 1986. Yes, he's older now, but he still's got that daredevil spirit, and Tom Cruise is just still cheesing away, man. He just still has that boyish charm to him. Excuse me, what my friend Lauren on Region Free said is that ostensibly this movie is about, and I'm paraphrasing my friend, is that it's two men who have not had a talk. And that through line runs throughout the film because we remember that Anthony Edwards, the great Anthony Edwards, died in the original film, and now his son Rooster is taking this mantle. Maverick is actually, I don't want to say that he's still grieving over Goose. It's not that he's still grieving, but he wants to protect his son Rooster in honor of his friend. So his struggle is how much of that protection is he going to put upon with this man now. The mission is clearly established from the beginning of the film. As in the original film, if anybody even remembers, in the original Top Gun, there was no mission for the whole entire film. That mission in the original film just pops up kind of in the third act. Here, Maverick is brought back because of the mission, because he's basically taken on the Kelly McGillis role from the original film, and he has to take his unorthodox methods and kind of mold and prepare this new team of recruits for this mission, and him kind of training them and getting them prepared for the final battle, which is the third act, is kind of laying over the through line of Maverick and Rooster needing to make this amends. Of course, we all know Val Kilmer is in the film, and probably half the world has already seen the film, but the scene that I'm talking about is wonderfully crafted, and it respects the real person, Val Kilmer, and his real illness, and just presenting it in a very thoughtful, emotional, just meticulously, carefully, empathetic way. It's so that scene between Cruise and Val Kilmer is very well done, and it really takes place. It really uses a lot of the old school acting with kind of just doing your physical being. The way Val Kilmer is still, he's using his real pain and pushing it into this character of Iceman and where he is in 2022. And Cruise, who, in my personal opinion, Tom Cruise, it's not talked about how much of a good actor Tom Cruise actually is. Born on the 4th of July is one of my favorite Tom Cruise performances. That film is gut wrenching. And I will say, although this is Top Gun Maverick, it's a fun summer blockbuster, he does pull from some of that raw, subtle, emotional acting that he did also in films like Magnolia too, which I think is a very underrated Tom Cruise performance. And also, one of the things that I really love about this film, with the mission that I talk about, which is the third act, I love the fact that the mission is actually literally the way they have to fly in and detonate this dangerous plutonium that they have. It literally is physically like a roller coaster ride, which brings me to my point that they literally took these actors, as we all know in all the footage, they literally took these actors and put them in real planes and flew them up. They put these cameras inside these jets, and they took the actors and spent them all around, and you can feel it. I mean, I'm pretty sure you all have seen it. Anyone who's seen the film or seen the previews, when you see these actors go up, you can see their eyes roll into the back of their heads. It is phenomenal. It's breathtaking. You can feel the movement of the planes. The third act is absolutely edge of your seat. It's suspenseful. I was on the edge waiting to see what was going to happen next. It is thrilling. And just the way it's shot, it just looks beautiful. It's gorgeous to look at. It's absolutely gorgeous. I mean, you've seen it on the previews. There's a shot where the camera is beneath the actor's lap, and he looks up, and you can see the plane kind of like just do this thing where it flies over him. It just, you feel like you're in the cockpit with the actors. It's breathtaking. You can see where there's 3 jets, they're flying behind one another, and you see kind of the smoke come out of the engines, and they're flying over water. It is phenomenal. It is just as good as going to like a theme park at Disney World. There was a little bit of controversy that Kelly McGillis was not going to join the film. Of course, there's some opinions that Kelly McGillis had about why she was not asked to participate in this film. I'm not even going to go there, but I do think everybody basically from the original film is in this film. Anthony Edwards, Meg Ryan, they're all in the film. Jennifer Connelly has always been breathtaking to me as an actress. I love her as an actress, and I always thought she was beautiful. I loved her when I saw her in this film when I was a kid. Not Labyrinth, but a film called Opportunity Knocks, if anybody remembers that movie, where they're like stuck in a Target or something like that. Her and Frank Wiley. I think that's how you say that guy's name. She still has those stunning, beautiful eyes. And she has a relaxed, gentle maturity to her. And I love the way she plays her roles. She can just... Jennifer Connelly, and she even showed it in the John Singleton film Higher Learning from way back when her scenes with her and Christy Swanson. She just has this endearing warmth to her. And when you look into Jennifer Connelly's eyes, man, it's almost like you are sucked into her soul. You feel so safe when you look into her eyes, and when she says lines, she's just a perfect complement to Cruise's intensity as Maverick and as Tom Cruise the actor. She really levels it out. And their romance is not hot and steamy like Kelly McGillis and Cruise's was in the original film, which, in my opinion, rewatching Top Gun now, Top Gun is a PG film. I do think their romance was, I think, too hot, for a PG film. It's not a hot and heavy, throw the person on the kitchen counter type of romance, but it's just a very warm, respectful, just loving. It has a musical montage, of course, on the beach, which is a tip of the hat to the volleyball scene in the original one. And I always love that volleyball scene. It's so cheesy. It's like why are these young guys playing volleyball? It makes no sense. But I mean, I think it was just to establish the rivalry between Maverick and Iceman's guys. You know, their teams. So, but here it's not really so much to present a rivalry. It's really more the football scene in this one is to it's a bonding. It's a bonding of the entire team. And I would say, I believe his name is Glenn Powell, who plays Hangman. He's very good in the film. I really like him. He's a good compliment to Val Kilmer's performance. It's not a replica of Val Kilmer's performance, but he does carry that douchiness. He's not as douchery as Val Kilmer was as Iceman, but he still has that arrogant cockiness to him, and kind of the mind playing games there. He's very well done. I really like Glenn Powell in this movie because you know the Expendables 3 thing, he was in that movie, and you guys can go back and look at my library. You know how I feel about Expendables 3, but I think he has erased my horrible traumatic memories of Expendables 3 with this performance in this film. It's very well. The music, Harold Faltermeimer's score, Hans Zimmer, and Lady Gaga, they all come together because Lady Gaga's song is not just featured in the film as a recording song. Actually, the instrumentals of that song is placed throughout the film. Very well done to pull on the emotion. It's so well done. And Hans Zimmer grand sizes Harold Faltermeimer's 80s score into this very epic sounding version of an 80s musical score. And when the film ends, what I love is, of course, like in the first film, you see a plane go off in the distance. It's not a jet. It's like more of a smaller kind of plane. But it's nice how you see the sunset and then you see the credits slowly grow up as Lady Gaga's song plays over the credits. And that's just old school filmmaking. They rarely ever kind of make films like that anymore. And the thing about it was, I wanted more. So, if you are not a fan of Top Gun Maverick and you think maybe it's just macho cheese, why don't you go ahead and watch The Bridges of Madison County? RMJ Movie Reviews. I'll see you soon.